credit union in Texas. So do you see more banks coming on board? Because I know that with Chase Bank, now it has their own stablecoin, and then you got them accepting Bitcoin and Ethereum as collateral. Do you see other banks like Credit Union Texas jumping into that and saying, hey, you know, how does that work for them? Because again, the education is the hardest part. Integration and implementation is really simple, except you have that education side that we rely on people like you to be able to educate. So what do you see with the banks? How do we make this easy?
But right now there's legislation in the crypto and blockchain space trying to be passed. And right now there's a lot of banking lobbyists that are fighting a lot of crypto companies from getting these laws passed because these issuers of stablecoins want to pass on the yield to people holding those digital assets. Well, for the longest time, the banks, they hold the assets and they're getting the treasury yield and they're giving you a way smaller percentage than that. So right now, banks, big banks, and crypto companies are fighting. But what I will say about where I see the future of banks go, I see a lot of banking companies starting their own blockchain, basically creating their own network, similar to like a Swift, but basically creating their own blockchain. That way they basically get to keep way more of the capital of the transactions that happen. So I see banks creating their own blockchains. And I do see banks starting to accept Bitcoin and Ethereum and maybe some of the more conservative cryptos as collateral. Some of these other magic internet monies and fly-by-night cryptos that go to zero soon, no, they probably won't use those. But Bitcoin and Ethereum will probably be the first for sure.